The Science Weekly, an industry pundit podcast about the tech and innovation of the 21st century. An open discussion between industry experts to uncover how emerging technologies can help solve current societal issues.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us in your offices at Digital Europe in Brussels. We have Georgia Morgia with us. Can you please tell us a bit about what you do and your work here at Digital Europe?
Yes, so I joined Digital Europe 9 months ago in the sustainability team. We work on many different topics, including eco-design, chemicals, waste. It's a bunch of different and very interesting topics.
Nice. And how does the digital sector help enable in green transition?
So, the digital sector is a fundamental enabler of the green transition, a key area where our industries support the greening of the economy is reducing CO2 emissions. Digital technologies have an essential role in this field. We support broader climate actions I can give you 3 examples, like smart sensors to generate data on air quality, temperature and soil, the satellites that take images of deforestation, changes in the sea level, in pollution and much more, and of course artificial intelligence. Which, as you can imagine, facilitate the collection, the processing, and analysis of a large data set, which in turn allows for more sustainable decisions. Think about the port of Rotterdam, the largest in Europe, which uses artificial intelligence to optimize routes and docking of ships. I can also mention that studies have found that by 2030, digital technologies have the potential to help other sectors to save 20% of global CO2 emissions. This is why it is so important to look at the green and digital action together.
Oh, and ICT sector is growing.
Yes.
All the digital industries are growing. When you look at the ICT sector, what is their impact in the energy consumption? It requires a lot of computing power.
Yes. So first of all, Digital Europe is aware of our own industry's footprint, which is already becoming greener and more efficient. In our manifesto for a stronger Digital Europe, we have set environmental key performance indicators. The same approach was adopted by the European Commission in the Digital Decade targets. Digital Europe KPI include having 15% of all material used in the economy recovered and reused by 2025. And people might not be aware, but despite unexpected demand increase for data center services, which is expected to grow in the coming years by 60%, the energy demand is not expected to rise.
That's very interesting. These are the things that you're doing for the industry, for the sector. Well, how does Digital Europe support consumers in making decisions for more sustainable choices?
Yes, consumers are of course a fundamental part of this process of greening the economy. And Digital Europe members empower consumers in many different ways, and this is also connected to supporting proper end-of-life treatment for electric and electronic equipment. So, a few examples. We provide transparent information on the sustainability credentials of our products and services. We facilitate access to repair. We provide extended product guarantees and we give access to the refurbishing of products. This is part of Digital Europe members' everyday business practice. We can mention the millions of repairs that our members perform annually via mechanisms that include reverse logistics and take-back schemes. There are of course many benefits not just for the consumers, but also for the environment and for the economy at large. These benefits include reducing, of course, the environmental footprint, but also creating jobs and ensuring consumer satisfaction. Concerning jobs, an interesting number is the fact that the electrical equipment is able to generate between 60 and 140 jobs each 1,000 tons in the reuse sector. Of course, Digital Euro members are very proud of our actions to support consumers, and we are also very proud having co-founded the Information for Recyclers platform together with Applia and the We Forum. The platform is a tool that provides recycling facilities and reuse operators with access to recycling information on waste electrical and electronic equipment. And data show that almost 700 active users benefit from it. Well, we can also at this point mention the fact that the many arguments that focus on short-lived electronics and early obsolescence sometimes ignore the reality of the flourishing second-hand market for electronic devices. Digital Euro members actively support the market for used IT equipment, and it is so important to acknowledge that there is significant value and use for electronic devices in second-hand markets. This is supported by data. Deloitte conservatively predicted in 2016 that there was $17 billion market for used smartphones.
Wow, that's huge. And some of the companies, not to mention name, they rebuy your phones from you and they resell it. When you look at the bigger picture, what are some key elements that make a difference in greening the digital economy?
In very simple words, harmonization is key, and I will give some examples. There is a huge need for a harmonized global standard for carbon measurement, accounting and reporting to really untap the digital technology's potential to support innovation. Secondly, harmonized consumer sorting instructions are key to boost the recycling rates across the European Union, which of course promote circular economy. It is important to avoid the proliferation of different sorting logos, which are often the result of non-harmonized national labeling schemes, an initiative in European member states. Moreover, the so-called extended producer responsibility schemes, which are basically the criteria used to differentiate the financial contribution paid by producers, should also be harmonized across the European Union to provide consistent incentives to manufacturers and make sure that we can really benefit from the single market. Finally, harmonizing labeling instruction is extremely important. To date, we know about 455 eco-labels in 199 countries, which is a lot.
Well, and are these interconnected or?
Well, they span across different, around 20-25 industry sectors.
Wow, that's huge.
Yes.
Great. Before we wrap up, is there anything you would like to add or share?
I think I'm very happy to have this interview with you. It's always a pleasure to talk about my work and sustainability, which is a very global topic.
And a necessary topic.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks.
It was a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by Science, former RISE, the Research Centre of Excellence in Cyprus, focusing on interactive media, smart systems and emerging technologies. For more information, please check our website on science.org.cy.